For the people. We'll start the class in another 2 more minutes. Hi guys, can you hear me and see me clearly? Just raise your hands if you can hear me and see me clearly. Okay, thank you. So, first of all, I will introduce myself. I'm Shabir. So, I am an advanced level student who is doing ICT. I am going to conduct the ICT class today for you. So, today we are going to start, we already started our first workshop, I guess, 3 days ago. So, we are going to continue from the part where we stopped. Before continuing, we'll do a small revision about how what we discussed on the first workshop. And also, many students had said that they are willing to join the theory class. We'll discuss about the theory class in the coming time. Okay. So before we start, so I'll do a small revision of what we did last week, and I'll start the classes. Okay. So before starting the class, can anyone say that if there are new students who didn't join the first workshop and have just joined the second workshop now, so then I no need to do the first part again. If you have even watched the recording, it's no problem. There's no problem. If you haven't joined the first free workshop, you can just message me or raise your hand. All right. So last week we stopped from the part input devices and output devices. We were doing the unit 2 fundamentals of a computer system. So fundamentals of a computer system is a theory lesson. Basically what we do in this lesson is that we study about the basic concepts of ICT. Every single basic concept of ICT is completed through this lesson. Okay. So when we finish this lesson, we get an idea about what a computer is, features of a computer, classification of computers, basic components of computer, computer ports. Likewise, we get small idea about that. So let's start. Before starting, I will share you the screen. So after I share the screen, you must pin the camera and just you just pin the camera and uh, look to the screen also same time. Okay. You guys can see the screen, right? Okay. So last week we discussed these parts, fundamentals of computer system. So we discussed what features of computers are. We discussed this part, features of computer. So now we have to discuss the functions of a computer system and basic physical components of a computer system. So we'll go through the lesson. I'll open the tube. Give me 2 minutes. So this is where we stop. Components was the topic we discussed at last. We discussed about input devices, output devices, central processing unit, and memory. So we were talking about this one. So the basic function of a computer was input, processing, and output. That is what we discussed in last week. So every single thing done in the computer comes under that input, process, output functions. Okay. So in the components of a computer, we discussed about input devices. Input devices are the devices used to input data into the system. That is what we discussed last week. Input devices are the devices that we use to input data through the system. For examples of input devices, we discussed keyboard, mouse, touch screen, joystick, light pen, etc. and etc. So you must turn to page number 37 in your textbook. So you must, while you are looking at my screen and looking to my teaching, at the same time you must go through the book as well, because the book is going to be a note, because your book is your syllabus and the short notes will be provided in the class. We will tell you what you should write, what you shouldn't write. So keep your book as your tute, and the short note will be provided during the class. Okay. So let's continue. So input devices. First of all, in the book they have given about keyboard. First of all, in this lesson, I already discussed the paper structure last week. I discussed the paper structure last week. So during the paper structure, you got that in this lesson they are going to ask you MCQ and compulsory questions from the part 2 paper. So through that you get small questions. So basically you get small questions. You don't get big essay type questions through this lesson. So why I am saying that this lesson is important is because you get about 2 compulsory questions through this. That is 4 marks. So that 4 marks is important for you to get reach to that A result. So let's continue this one. So in under input devices, we are starting from computer. See keyboard. The keyboard is a device we use to input data. Likewise, touch screen, joystick, light pen, everything are input devices. So in the exam, they are not going to ask you detailed information about these. They are just going to ask some in examples. So you should know the idea that there are many components in a computer. There are 4 types: input, output, central processing, and memory. Under those, you must remember input devices. are used to enter data into the system, and you must know at least three examples through this. You must know at least keyboard, mouse, and touchscreen. They are not going to tell you the right input devices. They will ask the question as a MCQ type question. Okay. So if you can't understand anything, or I need to slow down, or I need to fast, you just can drop me a message privately so I can help you with that. So next we are going to talk about output devices. Output devices are of three types. Output devices are of three types: soft copy, hard copy, and sound. So I'll open the textbook as well, then you can get an idea. So this is where we are discussing. So output devices are of three types: soft copy, hard copy, and sound. So let me tell you what are output devices. We discuss input devices are devices that we use to enter data into the computer. Likewise, output devices are the devices that are used to get the output out of the system. The input we enter into the computer is processed by the CPU. We'll discuss about it later. That is the biggest part we are going to discuss. Before discussing that part, we'll discuss about the output. We discussed about the input. We'll discuss about the process later. Now we are going to discuss about the output. Output can be obtained in three ways. Output can be obtained in three ways. The first way is going to be soft copy. Soft copy means those are intangible. Intangible means you cannot touch those copies. Soft copies cannot be touched. You already might have heard the word soft copy, hard copy, and sound. If you haven't, I'll tell you. Soft copy means intangible. So definitely they are not going to ask you what are soft copies, what are hard copies, what are sounds. They are not going to ask them. Yeah, you just need to have an idea. Everything you need to have is an idea about what are the three types of output devices. So I will, after the end of this lesson, we are going to do the past paper questions selected. I have selected the past paper questions from 2016 to 2023 papers. We'll discuss that. I'll make sure that you get everything correct in those questions. And also, if you are joining through the theory lesson, theory class, I'll make sure that you get an A pass. That's confirmed. Okay. So let's continue. Output devices. Output devices means that is the devices that are used to take the output from the system. So output devices are of three types: soft copy, hard copy, and sound. So first of all, soft copy. Soft copy means output on the screen are simply called soft copies. So can you can argue with me that I can touch the screen, so that means it's a hard copy as well. No, that's not how it works. Now, if you turn off the screen, you are not going to touch that soft copy. But just think of a A4 paper. You can't turn off that, right? So that is hard copy. If you can touch or feel, that is hard copy. So when you open the now I just have a screen share you with this PDF. Can you touch or feel this PDF? You say you can touch the screen, but you can't touch the PDF either. Did you get the idea? But if you take a printout of this, you just can touch and feel that paper, right? That is the PDF in your hand. So that is a hard copy. The thing you see in the computer is a soft copy. So soft copy means the output on the screen is simply called soft copy. The soft copy output can be provided in the following devices: monitor. So monitor is there are many types of monitor: cathode ray tube, liquid crystal display, light emitting diode, that is LED. So other thing, you not only monitor, you can get the output through a projector as well. So there are two ways that you are going to get the output from the soft as a soft copy is through a monitor and through a projector. There are types of monitors. In this part also, the types of monitor is test under the MCQ part. I'll tell you how it works. Before starting, before you just need to write down this subtopic. So you wrote the topics: input device, output device, everything last week. So again, you need to write down a subtopic: input devices, and write a small definition for input devices. Write the topic input devices and write down this part. under the input devices. Or else you can write input devices, you just put a dash and write down this part. Data and instructions are fed to the computer system using input devices. There are many input devices. The following are some of them. Write down this part. So, if you during this class, we are going to go through a tute as well. The meeting will end in another 10 minutes. So we were unable to buy the Zoom package, as I said. Give me 2 minutes. Can you see me and hear me? Just raise your hands if you can see me and hear me. Okay, right? You can see me and hear me. Sorry for the inconvenience. So let's continue. I guess you wrote down this part input about the input devices. We'll continue. So there we discussed about input devices. Now you must write down the topic output devices. Just like you wrote the input devices part, write down this part, output devices, and write down there are several methods of producing information by output devices, and write down this part. Soft copy, hard copy, and so the reason I didn't include these for the tute is that these are not going to be tested in your exam. So everything included in your tute are specifically focused on your O-level paper. So that is the shortest note that we have prepared for you guys, so that you don't need to study unnecessary things. You don't need to mess up everything in your head before you go to the examination. So if you have finished writing this down, please raise your hand. So I guess you have finished writing everything. Okay. So now let's continue. So I'll give you a basic idea what about the types of monitor. So a monitor are of three types. Cathode ray tube, that means CRT monitor. Cathode ray tube monitors, you might have seen these. So 2K kids most probably have never seen these kinds of monitors. I guess some of you have already seen this, I think. So cathode ray tube monitors are, so those kind of monitors were used long time ago. So they were the first types of monitors. They were large in size. They were not slim. They were extremely thick in size. So these types of monitor is large and consume more electricity. this consume more electricity. After the increase in the technology, technology increases day by day. With the increase of the technology, LCD monitors were found out. LCD means liquid crystal display monitors. So LCD monitors comparatively consumes less amount of electricity than cathode radium monitors. So this had a flat screen, not like the cathode ray tube. LCD monitors had flat screen. You can see in the image as well. You can see how thick this is and how thin this one is. Okay. So give me a second. So you can see, right? You can see the spotlight, right? So you can continue with this. Keep the eye with the spotlight. So liquid crystal display, that is what we call LCD. So the other one is LED, LED TV. You have heard this word. I am sure that everyone in this meeting has heard this word, LED TV. So LED means light emitting diode. So I guess most of you in your house have a LED TV. So if you go closer to your after this finishing this class, you can just go closer to your TV and see. You will find dots like this. If you go closer to your TV and you just see, you can see dots like this in your TV. That means you have a LED TV. LED TV comparatively have a lower image quality than liquid crystal display TV. Not lower means not 100% lower. Comparatively, liquid crystal means crystal display means 100% crystal. That is very clear. But the LED TV is a bit lower than in quality, but consumes very less amount of electricity than liquid crystal display TV. So liquid crystal display monitors are consuming more electricity and more quality. So when we compare all of these, the LED light emitting diode LED monitor consumes less electricity according to when comparing with three of them. So in the exam, what are they going to test using this part is only about the electricity. So they are in the electricity. If they are going to ask you something from this part, they are going to ask from the electricity part only. So you just need to you can't memorize everything, right? Because you have 9 subjects. So what makes O level hard is the number 9. Number 9 makes O level hard because without a stop, you are going to have a continuous 9 exams without a break. So today we'll have in Islam religion paper. Tomorrow we will have maths. Day after tomorrow you'll have ICT. Thereby you will have continuous papers. So you don't get enough time to finish the whole syllabus. So that's why we are going to make short notes. And so you can't put everything in your head. You can't memorize everything. You can put everything in your head. You can't memorize everything. So that you just need to keep everything in your mind. Just a small idea. So you are not 100% sure they are going to test this part or not. So you just need to have an idea. But there are some parts in ICT that you are sure that they are going to test this. 100% sure that they are going to test this part. So that you must target those parts and memorize them. Not only memorize, you must have a clear understanding in each and every point regarding that lesson. So in our theory classes, there are up to now, I guess last week we had 20 students in the free workshop. 5 students were willing to join the theory class. So those 5 students, I'll confirm their A result. That's 100% sure. So they will get that guidance. If you all wish, you can join. You just need to contact admin. We'll send you the details how to join our theory class. If there are new students, we'll help you to join our theory class. We'll send a message to your group. Okay. So now we are discussing about. So I'll come from the top. Out there are components of computer: input devices, output devices. In input devices, there are we discussed many examples and output devices. We got to know that there are 3 types of output devices: soft copy, hard copy, and sound. Now we are under the part of soft copy. Soft copy means intangible. That means soft copy means the soft copy can be output provided through a screen. Output on the screen is called a soft copy. So under the soft copy, we discussed that there are 2 ways we can receive a soft copy. through a screen, that is a monitor or a projector. Under monitors, we are discussing three parts: cathode ray tube monitor, liquid crystal display monitor, and light emitting diode. That is three types of monitors. So I guess you guys got a clear understanding about the monitors. Now we'll go for the projector. Projector means there's a term multimedia. Can you see this? Multimedia projector. If anyone has an idea about the word multimedia, what does the term okay, then, okay, I guess my students join. We'll continue. So we were unable to purchase a Zoom because after the with the update, the prices have been increased very much. So there's a high price for the Zoom premium package. So in the theory class, we'll make sure to purchase it. We have around 5 students. We I guess we can during the end of this workshop, we'll gather around 10 more students, I guess. So with those students, when we are doing the classes, we'll make sure to buy the premium package. There's no doubt. So the reason for the postpone of the class, the class was to be held yesterday. The reason for the postpone was that I'm in Dehiwala, Colombo. So here we had a power cut from morning onwards, not from morning, from evening onwards. So they have already informed us that the power will be there. They will not provide with the power during the class time. So that was the reason for us to postpone the class. So not only that, I had the idea to postpone because I guess there are boys as well. You guys watch cricket, I guess. So we had the cricket match also. So I guess many students will not wish to join during that time. So that was also another reason for me to postpone that. So let's continue with the class. I'll share the screen. You can continue. So before I start, just raise your hands if you can hear me and see me clearly. Okay, thank you. So the theory class will not be like this. So everyone will get a chance to unmute themselves and everyone can message to everyone. So here we are going under strict procedure because the students we don't and we don't know who's going to join this one, who's going to make fun of this. I don't know exactly. We don't have idea about the students who are joining this. So in the theory class, it will be not like that. So the theory class student we have given you with a Google form. So I saw many students have already filled up that form. The students who didn't fill up that, make sure to fill up that after the class ends. So we are continuing. We were discussing about the multimedia projector. So multimedia projector is also a multimedia. Sorry, I was asking you if you had an idea about the word multimedia. If anyone has a word idea of this word multimedia, just drop me a message. Everyone must try. Yeah? If you know, just if you don't know, just message me that you don't know. You have no idea because you are still grade 10. There's many things you should know after this onwards. So IT multimedia is a very important word. That's why we are. So we have a whole lesson regarding multimedia in ICT. That's why I had asked anyone has idea. So I got some answers. So I will tell it myself. So multimedia projector. Multimedia. First of all, I'll tell you what multimedia is. So here you can in this I have in this PDF I have shared. You can see there's text, there are colors, there are pictures, there's no video here. So multimedia is basically text, images, videos, hyperlinks, everything comes under same topic multimedia. So multimedia means the ways we can provide output. So I can send you some message as a text. Likewise, I can send you the same message as a poster in a picture. So I can share you the same idea using a video. So those are types of multimedia. So we'll discuss about them deeply in the future lessons. So we have finished our subtopic hard copy, soft copy. Now we are going under hard copy. So I said soft copy means intangible. That means everything comes on a screen. Hard copy means tangible. So you can't touch and feel soft copy, but hard copy can be touched and feel. So for you to touch and feel something, there must be a process, right? Now, a PDF is a soft copy. That PDF must be processed somehow for you to get it into your hand as a tangible source. So the devices, there are some devices that helps us to do that task. For example, is a printer. So this part is important. Printer is a important part because you are going to get lot of MCQs in this part. So okay. So we'll discuss about printers now. Okay. Printer means a device. Printer is a device. That's a input device or output device. Just message me. Is it an input device or output device? Yeah, correct. That's an output device because we get something out of the printer. That's an output device. So there are two types of printers. Those are impact printers and non-impact printers. So first of all, I'll tell you what are impact printers, what are non-impact printers. Impact printers means basically, so this is not a note, you just need to have the idea, okay? They're not going to ask you what are impact printers, what are non-impact printers, define. They're not going to ask like that, okay? So I'll tell you what are impact printers. Impact printers means, so two students join now. I'll start from the beginning. So we discussed about soft copy. Now we are going to discuss about hard copy. Under hard copy, we are going to discuss about printers. Hard copy means tangible things. That means soft copy means intangible. Hard copy means tangible. That is simply hard copy. So we'll continue. Impact printers, non-impact printers. So uh, everyone has a piece of paper, right? You just have a piece of paper. If in a printer there are two types, the printer is going to print on a paper. So even your books are printed. So these are printed through a laser printer. We'll discuss what laser printers are. So there are two ways that the paper is going to be printed. So those two types are called impact and non-impact. If there is an impact to the paper, that means if the needle, so the printers use needles. Impact printers use needles to eject ink into the paper. So not the needles that you have seen. Those are microscopic needles. Those are extremely small. So you can see this E, right? Here you can see a E. E symbol. Wait, let me show. Can you see this spotlight? Can you see this E in a textbook? So this is a dot matrix printer. We'll discuss what a dot matrix printer is. So you can see dots, right? Throughout the E, what you can see is dots. So those, every dot on those E were made by needles. Those were ejected. Those ink was ejected to the paper through needles. That means the needle must be ejected to the paper. or else that will spray everywhere, right? The needle must be ejected. So the needle has an impact with the paper. That's why we are calling those kind of printers impact printers. Whereas non-impact printers means the paper and the printer have no physical touch within them. So the non-impact printers are laser printers, bubble printers, thermal printers. Thermal printers use thermal technology. Not so impact printers use needles, right? I said. Where but non-impact printers use two types of technology. They use light and heat. So laser printers use light. Light means they also use heat. They use the heat from the light. Okay. So laser printers use heat. Thermal printers use heat as well. Now, I guess you have traveled through a bus, right? So they give you tickets there, bus tickets, or in a train also they give you tickets. Even in a supermarket, you have seen a bill. You get a bill, right? Even if you pay in a credit card, you get a small bill, right? Slip from the credit card. Everything you have seen that device, right? Small. Wait, I'll show you thermal printer image. You get a clear idea. So these are large scale thermal printers. I guess every one of you have seen this kind of thermal printers. See my spotlight. Can you see my spotlight? Small. These are thermal printers you can see in the bus. Here, this one. These are the ones you see in the supermarkets. So these kind of thermal printers have no physical contact with the paper. The printer and the paper has no physical contact. So the everything is done with the heat. So you guys guess that I guess you guys thought that it will be done with this normal paper you use in your books, right? That's not how it works. The thermal printers use special kind of papers for their printing purpose. They use special kind of papers that turn black. So you can't see thermal printer with color. There are no color printers in thermal printers. All the thermal printers are black and white. Even in the images, you never can you see any printer that colors there is a color? No, right? Everything has a everything here is black and white. So every printout taken out from these are black and white. So these printers, what they do is these printers have no physical contact. These are special kind of printers. So the papers are white. First of all, the papers are white. But in the specific part that you provide heat or pressure on that paper is the paper turns black there. So next time, just try doing this. If you get a bill from your credit card or any in a supermarket or any sort of thing, you just take the paper and do what I say. Okay. Okay. Just think this is the paper. Can you see this paper, right? You can see this paper, right? So take the think that this is the printout and use your nails and just create marks like this. So you'll see them turning black in color. Those thermal printer, the printouts taken out through those printers, not after a long time, at the instant moment that you take it out from the printer, if you just make a mark from your nail, that will turn black. Or else, if you have a matchstick or a lighter, you just need to you just can go through. Oh, the best idea is iron. You can just use an iron. Just keep that paper down, just iron it. Even using an iron, if you even got late to use an iron after the paper is taken out of the printer, no problem. Because those are special kind of paper. If you just use an iron, that whole paper will turn black. That is what's going to happen. Because those papers are made with ink inside there. So when they are where in every single part where heat is provided, those turn black. So that are the difference between impact and non-impact printers. So I guess everyone got an idea. If everyone has a clear idea, just raise your hands. If you got a clear idea, raise your hands. Okay, right? I guess right. So there are types of impact printers, there are types of non-impact printers. So impact printers are of two types. There are many types of impact printers according to your syllabus. These are examples, right? There are many examples. So your book is an edition that works according to 2016 syllabus. From 2016 onwards, they are doing they are just making few modifications. Even the HTML you are going to study, that is a multimedia lesson you are going to study. HTML, there are new forms of HTML. Now we use HTML5, but your O-level syllabus is still lagging with the HTML, basic HTML codes. That's how weak our education system is. So, but it's easy for you guys. So, basic HTML is easy than HTML5. So, it's easy for you guys. So, let's continue. We discussed about soft copy, hard copy. Now, under hard copy, we are doing the printers. Printers which has physical contact with the paper are impact printers. Printers which does not have physical contact with the paper are non-impact printers. That means the printers which have impact on the paper are impact printers. The printers which does not have an impact on the paper are non-impact printers. So the reason I am not reading this whole definition is because they are not going to test this. So this is, if you have the general idea, that's more than enough in ICT. So we will tell you, we will give you as a note what you need to study, what you don't need to study, what you should have idea about, what you should. We'll give you. So as I already said, if you ask me what's the difference between ordinary level and advanced level, the word ordinary suggests because every single subject you are studying has only an ordinary idea about what you are going to study. Did you get an idea? But what makes ordinary level hard is that you have 9 subjects. So if you join our theory class, if we work through the plan we have, we will make the 9 subjects 8. I'll make sure to do that. That 9 subjects will be 8 subjects for you guys because if you just refer before the O level, the day before you have the O level examinations, if you just refer through your notes, you will make sure that you will have a pass. Because we are going to do when we are getting closer to the ordinary level. That means we are at grade 11. We are going to start our paper class as well from grade 11 onwards. So then you will get a clear idea what you are going to face in the paper. So not only we are going to teach you the theory in the paper classes, we are not going to discuss the theory. We are going to teach you how to write the answer. So even though you knew the answer, it doesn't matter if you don't know how to write it. Did you get an idea what I'm going to talk, what I'm talking about? I guess right? Yes, right? So let's continue. Impact printers, non-impact printers. Under impact printers, we did dot matrix. There are 2 examples: dot matrix printers and line printers. So what is the difference between these dot matrix printers and line printers? So we'll see this. Okay, dot matrix printers. Dot matrix printers. Letters are printed on the paper as small dots. Here, when the paper head strikes, printer's head strikes on the ink ribbon with a needle-like tip. So what happens here is, so I discussed deeply about non-impact printers. I didn't discuss deeply about impact printers. I said the needle, there's a needle, microscopic needle. The needle is also termed as the printer's head. Printer's head. So that's a needle, but the term used for that needle is a printer's head. The printer's head does not have ink in it. The printer's head does not have ink in it. There's a ribbon. In a school, I guess there are most of the schools use dot matrix printers as well. In a office, you can see dot matrix printers. So in those kind of printers, the quality is low because those are dots, right? Like the LED TV, those are dots. So the quality is lower than a. Can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me and see me clearly? Just raise your hand. Okay, right? So the quality is basically a bit low, not very much low, basically a bit lower than a laser printer. So highest quality printouts can be taken through a laser printer. We'll discuss about that. So dot matrix printers, there's a ribbon. Shall I show you the picture of a ribbon as well? So these are ink ribbons. Here you see what is here ink ribbons. So the needle, these are ink ribbons. What the needle does is the ink ribbon is between the paper and the needle. So the the printer's head or the needle goes and strikes to the ink ribbon. So the ink ribbon goes and keeps a mark on the paper. That's how it works. So you have seen carbon papers, right? You know carbon papers, right? In the office, everything they are using carbon papers. Shall I show you carbon papers as well? In the carbon paper, the reason for me to show you images of a carbon paper is carbon paper works similarly. So when you write on the carbon paper with a pen, there's no ink, literally no ink. It just has a tip. Okay. If you write on the carbon paper using that, what happens is the carbon paper ink bottom. So there are two sides in a carbon paper. One side is of ink and the other is just a normal paper. If you write on the other side, the ink is being placed on the paper where you are supposed to write something. So this the impact printers work in the same scenario where the needle goes and strike the ribbon and the using the ink in the ribbon, the ribbon places a small drop of ink on the paper. Everything work under microscopic view. So you can't see that even if you look at the printer, if you remove the printer and look, you can't see clearly how those are printing. So the difference between the dot matrix printer and the line printer is that the dot matrix printer prints line by line, not line by line, using the head, using a needle like tip. You see, needle like tip. Small, they type letter by letter. But the laser printer, line printer is not like that. Those are faster than dot matrix printers. These printers prints one line at a time and can print about 300 lines per minute. You got an idea, right? Both work under the same setup, but these line printers are faster because they print they print using they print a whole line together. But the dot matrix printer prints letter by letter. Don't mean that the dot matrix printers are very slow. Dot matrix printers are also fast as well. But comparatively, line printers are faster than dot matrix printers. Give me 1 second. So I plug the camera into the charge. That's what. So let's continue. So if you have if you think these we are coming under lots of subtopics, this is going to be tough, I guess. So don't take a huge idea. Just our mind maps will help you to go under these kinds of subtopics. You have seen our mind maps, right? I'll share the mind maps as well. In the theory classes, you will get the PDF and the mind maps. So stop annotating. So I have given you the permission to annotate. Don't misuse it. If I just say you to use it, you can use it. Okay. So that might be a mistake. I don't know. Okay, let's continue. So other kind of printers that we are going to discuss is non-impact printers. Non-impact printers does not operate with a strike head against a ribbon. So impact printers are noisy because those go the sound of the ink head, printer's head going to strike on the ribbon makes a small sound. But laser printers, thermal printers don't make sounds like that because they don't have physical contact with the paper. Okay, so laser printers, the total dried ink in a cartilage is applied on the paper to produce the printout. So what happens in a laser printer is dried ink. Here in a impact printer, in a dot matrix printer and line printer, there are those don't use dry ink. You can see the ink. We must fill ink, which is liquid in form. So here laser printers use dry ink. where bubble and jet printer use the same kind of small. They use small kind of liquid ink, right? So thermal printers use heat. So in ATM and every, so most of the institutes you go, you can see many thermal printers. So we'll get a small idea about these as well. These are not going to be tested on your oral paper. Small parts of these will be tested to your MCQ. So you need to have idea, but you don't need to memorize these. Okay. So we'll go from the basic laser printer, bubble inkjet printer, thermal printer. We'll read. Then you can get an idea. We'll read it and finish it off. Okay. Laser printers. In a laser printer, the toner or dried ink in a cartilage is applied on the paper to produce the printout. Both black and white as well color laser printers are available. The laser printer produce clear and quality printouts. So this is, you got an idea, right? When I read. So I'll explain more. So laser printers have the best quality printouts. According to my experience, I have seen laser printers have the best quality. So in science, we have learned there's a difference between microscope and electronic microscope. Likewise, in ICT, I will consider the microscope as a the dot matrix printer, and the laser printer as an electronic microscope, which is perfect. The printouts taken out of a laser printer is simply perfect. Yes, you can't find out the difference between the PDF and the laser printer if they were placed side by side. It will be in the same quality as the screen share I have shared with you. So that is the specialty of a laser print. Likewise, there's another printer called bubble inkjet printer. The other one is a thermal printer. We discuss about the thermal printer. So we'll come to the plotter. That is also a non-impact printer. So plotter is a tool which is used under industries. That is a industrial used printer. So this is commonly used in computer-based planning, architectural designs, town planning, design sailing boats, etc. A plan is drawn by moving a pen on the paper. So this is done under the plotter. What the plotter does is, the plotter uh, is used economically. Plotter is a printer which is used economically. Most architects use this to draw their plans. In the past, they use this, most of the time they use this in the past. Nowadays, they have more technology than this. I said this is still sticked into 2016 syllabus. So you have to get an idea about these aspects. Sounds, you know, right? The devices which give sound output is called a speaker. Speaker devices are designed for personal and common purposes. So here I have a speaker and a microphone as well. So speaker is a device which emits sound out, where microphone is a device which gives sound inside. So you hear me clearly because of this microphone. If I unplug this microphone and I use the microphone of the laptop, you will hear the surrounding sound of me as well. So this microphone has a filter here. You can see this small part, the cushion-like part. So this filters the sound. Likewise, there are many things you need to get idea about the sounds as well. So we discussed about input, output. So under output devices, you wrote down that, so there are three types: soft copy, hard copy, and sound. Now I want you to write down under small heading soft copy. So basically in our class, the homework is to share the note. Share the note that you wrote during the class. We are giving you short notes during the class. So we don't need you to make additional work on the class time. If you focus on the class time, it's more than enough for you to get an A pass. If you give your 100% focus in the class time, that is more than enough. So within a week, 2 hours is not a big time that you allocate 5 seats. 2 hours is not a that big time. So our classes will be mostly 2 hours. So for some sorts of lesson, we will have to exceed the class time for 3 hours. So we'll discuss them in the theory class. So then we can, if we exceed that we'll break the 2 hour time limit and exceed that for 3 hours. The benefit is that what you get is we'll give breaks as well during those kind of times. So, but the benefit is that you will have a So there are some big lessons as well. This is a basic lesson, right? Some big lessons are there. So you can have a plot idea about a big, huge part on this on the same day. Because if you discuss a small part and we'll keep the next part for another day, you forgot the first beginning part if you didn't complete the whole part. So that's why we need to exceed the time in some classes. So now I guess you wrote down the topic soft copy. Under soft copy, write this down. The output on the screen is called a soft copy. This small part is enough. Write down point wise. The output on the screen is called a soft copy. So the meeting will end in 10 minutes. You can join through the same link. Soft copy output can be provided on the following device. Yes. Now you need to write this in point wise. Huh? This is point number one. This is one and this is two. This is point number one and this is point number two. After writing that down, write down this monitor or screen, and the other one is multimedia projector. So you are not kids right now. Huh? You need to write down fast. So you are grade 10 students. So you must catch up with the speed. So I'm not. We'll start. We'll do slow by slowly. Explaining parts could be done slowly, but the writing down part should be done in a good speed, or else you can't finish up the syllabus. The syllabus is not that huge in ICT. We'll make sure to complete the syllabus in our theory classes. So we have a plan. So until you write it down, I'll tell you about our plans. So we have 5 students in our theory class from this workshop. So I guess after about 10 students have requested the recording from us because they have the exams these days. So they are also pending whether they'll come or no. I have no idea. In the theory class, if we have more than five, already we have 5 students. We expect from another 10 students, around 10 students. So we'll buy the Zoom Premium for that Zoom Premium version for the theory class. So we'll continue. Soft copy you wrote this now, right? So now write a small topic hard copy like same like the soft copy and write this one. So under hard copy, you are just going to discuss about printers. So in ICT, they give the importance for this printer part is because printer is a economically used device. Economically used device means you can see printers everywhere, right? Just like computers are seen everywhere. And nowadays you see computers in everyone's pocket. Even the mobile phone you use is a computer. We discussed about that in the last week. So likewise, in every single institute you go, that means technologically advanced institute, you have a printer there. Even in your schools, I guess, schools you have a printer. Even in the bus, nowadays you have a printer for printing your tickets. That's why they have given the importance for the printer part, the hard copy. So I guess you wrote down this and write down the topic printers and the hard copy. You just put example and write printer and write down this part. And write down this diagram. This diagram on the printers. Can see, right? So after you write this down, you can raise your hands. We'll continue the lesson. So make it fast. I'll give you 3 to 4 minutes. So while you are writing, there may be friends of you who are weak in ICT or who are already good in ICT but have a doubt in the IA. We'll make that sure that we'll ensure that you get an A pass. So you just need to contact admin. You know the admin's number, right? So I'll give that number as well. If you have any doubts regarding the class, you can contact that number. I'll put that number here. So one student messaged me personally also requesting for the how can I join the theory class. This is the number. So you can contact this number anytime. We will reply to you within 24 hours. And 24 hours means it won't take that long time. Within 3 to 4 hours, we'll try to reply. Okay. So one student have raised their hand. So you can tell me if you have any question. You can. You have finished, right? Okay. Okay, done. Mhm. So let's continue. Give me 1 second. Sorry, let's continue. So the reason I didn't let you write these parts is if you write these parts, you just there's nothing called a note. You are just copywriting a whole textbook. That doesn't matter, right? So you need to have a note. So that we will discuss about those part about the important parts using the textbook. We'll take the help of the tutor as well. So can you hear me clearly and see me clearly? Sorry, there was a connection problem. You can hear me and see me, right? Unmute yourselves and answer, or you can raise your hand. Can you see me? Okay, thank you. So, so now we are going to discuss about this, a computer system. So before I start, give me 2 minutes. I'll start the class in 2 minutes. Give me some time, 2 minutes. So let's continue. Okay, right? You can see me and hear me clear, right? So if the meeting ends, you just need to join through the same link. So let's continue. So this is a part that we skipped, functions of a computer system. We didn't discuss this, right? We did the classification according to technology and we skipped this part. The reason for me to skip this part is because this part has a, you can see here input devices and output devices in this part as well. Here you can see input and output devices. The reason for me to skip is, first of all, you should need an idea about what input devices, what output devices are to understand this properly. So we'll discuss about the computer system. So this is a very important part in a oral examination. So they are testing this mostly every year they are going to test this part. So this part is not that hard part. So for most of the students, this is a bit hard part. In ICT, this is a hard part. But if you understand this through after we finish the workshop, if you understand this part, I can consider